The film opens with real video footage from the war in Yemen in 2015. The conflict began when militia groups, backed by foreign powers, attempted to overthrow the Yemeni government. These groups managed to seize control of several major cities, including the capital Sana'a in the north and Aden in the south. As the conflict spread, innocent civilians became victims. The Yemeni government, unable to contain the situation, requested help from its allies in the international coalition. The United Nations Security Council then called upon the United Arab Emirates to deploy its military forces in order to restore stability in Yemen. The scene shifts to a UAE military base in the city of Mocha, in southern Yemen. Here we are introduced to Sergeant Al-Hindasi, Sergeant Bilal, Sergeant Ali, and Sergeant Falashi. Their spirits are high because their mission is almost over. They are scheduled to return home next week, where their families are waiting for them. We are also introduced to two members of the medical team, Sayari and Balusi. After training, Sergeant Ali is seen carving a wooden horse. It is a birthday gift for his daughter, which he plans to give her on the day he returns home. The next morning, the soldiers prepare for a routine patrol. Patrol Teams 01 and 02 will head into residential areas to check on security and distribute food to civilians. For Bilal, Ali, and Hindasi, this is their final patrol before their return next week. Two patrol vehicles depart from the base. As they drove out, none of them could have imagined what waited ahead. This is the ambush. The scene then cuts to the commander of the Rapid Response Unit, Colonel Mazroui, who is having coffee with Captain Saeed. Colonel Mazroui is scheduled to take a promotion exam next week, so he asks Captain Saeed to temporarily take over his duties. Back with the patrol team. After traveling for some time, they come across Yemeni government soldiers who are also patrolling the area. One of the Yemeni vehicles has broken down and needs repair. Bilal approaches them and is informed that suspicious activity was reported ahead. Bilal then asks Hindasi and Ali to check the area with him. Meanwhile, the second patrol vehicle stays to help repair the broken-down Yemeni vehicle. Along the way, the patrol meets local civilians and distributes food to them. One man tells Bilal that he heard gunfire coming from behind a nearby hill the night before. Bilal and his group head there to investigate. Soon after, Bilal receives a call from Patrol 02 saying the repairs are finished and they will catch up shortly. But on the way, their vehicle is suddenly blocked and gunfire erupts. The situation quickly turns into a fierce ambush. The commanders back at the base receive the report and immediately order Colonel Mazroui and Captain Saeed to mobilize the Rapid Response Unit. A drone is launched to scout the area and provide an accurate view of the situation. The battle intensifies. Colonel Mazroui calls for Sayari and Balusi to prepare for medical support, while Captain Saeed orders Falashi and the rest of the troops to get ready. With Colonel Mazroui leading the way, the Rapid Response Unit leaves the base at full strength. The scene shifts back to the battlefield. Their vehicle is now stuck, and the mounted machine gun has been badly damaged. With no other choice, they prepare what ammunition they have left and brace themselves. Bilal tries to contact the 2nd Patrol Unit, but their radio is no longer working. He tries using his phone to call the base, but there is no signal out here. The situation grows worse as enemy forces begin to close in. Patrol 02 is suddenly attacked, and heavy gunfire and RPG explosions rain down on their vehicle. Meanwhile, the Rapid Response Team led by Colonel Mazroui is still on the way. We then see the enemy commander approaching Patrol 01. He orders his men to film the attack. Another RPG is launched, and this time it injures Hindasi badly. The enemy commander then instructs his men to plant landmines along the road, preparing for the arrival of the rescue team. Not long after, the Rapid Response Unit arrives near the battlefield. Unsure of the enemy's exact position, they stop and move cautiously. Patrol 02 manages to reach them, though their vehicle is nearly destroyed. The Rapid Response Unit rushes to provide medical help, but the enemy spots their movements and begins firing mortar rounds from a distance. The blasts shake the ground and the air fills with debris. Colonel Mazroui orders his men to fall back and avoid the mortar range. Once they are in a safer area, he contacts Central Command and requests drone support to locate the enemy positions. Command responds by granting Mazroui full authority to make decisions in the field. They instruct him to prioritize saving every soldier and bringing everyone home. With that responsibility on his shoulders, Mazroui gives his men words of encouragement. He reminds them that the enemy knows the terrain and has prepared their ambush carefully. But with unity and discipline, they can overcome this and return alive. Once the area seems clear, Mazroui leads his unit forward. Strangely, the enemy does not attack them. It becomes clear that the silence is intentional. The Rapid Response Unit has walked right into a trap. Suddenly, explosions erupt. Bullets tear through the air, striking their vehicles. Mazrui had anticipated this and uses the chaos to pinpoint the source of the mortar fire. With the drone confirming the coordinates, Command dispatches an Apache helicopter to provide air support. The enemy, realizing the helicopter could turn the tide, orders another RPG strike toward Patrol 1. The blast injures Bilal, leaving his leg wounded. The enemy then demands that Bilal and the others surrender, promising to spare their lives. But the three soldiers refuse. They remain inside the burning vehicle, unwilling to give in. Growing frustrated, the enemy sets the vehicle on fire, trying to smoke them out. Bilal fights back, firing at whoever approaches, even as flames creep closer. What he does not see is that a sniper has him in their sights. A shot is fired, but the bullet hits his helmet and fails to penetrate. Now they can only hold on and hope the rescue team reaches them in time. The scene returns to the rapid response unit. Captain Syed requests permission from Colonel Mazrui to move his team forward. Mazrui agrees, allowing Syed to advance while they wait for the Apache helicopter to arrive. The enemy, aware that reinforcement is approaching, quickly retreats back into the hills to hide. Seeing the moment, Bilal and his two comrades crawl out of their damaged vehicle. Thick smoke fills the air, giving them enough cover to avoid the enemy sniper for now. Ali spots a safer position further ahead and urges Hindasi and Bilal to move there. But both of them are wounded in the leg. They can barely stand, let alone run. Ali decides to move ahead alone and asks Bilal to cover him. He steps forward, determined, but the enemy sniper is skilled and precise. One by one, the shots land dangerously close. Meanwhile, Captain Syed arrives with the medical team. But before they can reach the wounded, the enemy launches another mortar strike. The blasts force everyone to take cover. Once the barrage slows, Syed instructs Sayari and Balusi to push forward. Hindasi smiles with relief when he sees them approaching. But that relief lasts only a moment. A sudden explosion erupts beneath the rescue vehicles. They have hit hidden landmines planted earlier. The vehicles are heavily damaged, and the situation becomes even more desperate. Syed reports the situation to Mazrui. Enemy fighters begin closing in again, and the unseen sniper continues to fire with deadly accuracy. Hindasi, exhausted and overwhelmed, tells Bilal that their time is over. But Bilal refuses to let fear take them. He tells him that they will make it home. They will survive this. And just then, hope appears. The Apache helicopter arrives in the distance. Colonel Mazrui immediately orders the pilot to destroy the enemy mortar positions. The helicopter unleashes a violent barrage across the hill, forcing the enemy to take cover. As the enemy shifts focus to the Apache, Falashi uses that distraction to reach Captain Syed and pull him to safety. But the enemy fires another RPG, and the helicopter is struck. It is still flying, but unable to finish destroying the mortar locations. Central Command orders the helicopter to withdraw before it is taken down completely. With air support gone, Mazrui sends two rapid response vehicles forward once again. The enemy, realizing this, quickly begins planting more landmines along the road. Central Command notices what is happening and tries to contact the two approaching vehicles to warn them not to take that route. But the communication systems inside those vehicles are malfunctioning. Unaware of the danger ahead, they continue moving forward while exchanging fire with the enemy. Sayari and Balusi watch from a distance, hoping desperately that the incoming vehicles will reach them in time. But both vehicles are already heavily damaged. The enemy continues to pour bullets and RPG fire at them from every direction. At this point, Colonel Mazrui formulates a new plan. He suggests using the damaged vehicles scattered along the road as shields, allowing them to advance with some protection. He reports the plan to Central Command. His superior warns him that if he moves forward as the commander, he will become the primary target. The enemy will certainly aim for him first. But Mazrui insists. He says that every soldier must be rescued, no matter what it takes. Hearing the determination in his voice, his superior agrees and orders F-16 fighter jets to be deployed to the battlefield. Colonel Mazrui leads the remaining rapid response unit forward. Gunfire erupts from both sides and a fierce battle breaks out once again. Thanks to Mazrui's strategy, several soldiers are successfully rescued. But Bilal and Hindasi are still trapped. They can only wait, listening to the gunfire around them, unsure whether rescue or death will reach them first. Through the smoke, they notice Ali's body lying motionless nearby. The enemy continues to attack, and another RPG strike destroys the mounted weapon they were relying on. Central Command then informs Mazrui that the F-16 jets have taken off and will arrive within 7 minutes. He is ordered to evacuate everyone as soon as possible and leave the battlefield before the airstrike begins. Mazrui quickly instructs the evacuation vehicles to withdraw, but one of them hits a landmine, leaving it destroyed and blocking the route. Captain Said steps forward and instructs his team to extract Bilal, Hindasi, and any remaining survivors still trapped. He himself will move separately to eliminate the enemy sniper who has been terrorizing them from the shadows. Said signals Mazrui. It is time to deploy smoke rounds for cover. Once the smoke rounds are released into the air, the team moves. The thick haze covers their advance, and for the first time in the battle, the enemy sniper loses sight of them. Through the chaos, Falashi finds Ali. His friend is no longer alive. Falashi lifts Ali's body and carries him toward the evacuation vehicles. The battle continues all around them, and at last the enemy sniper's position is discovered. A single precise shot ends the threat that had haunted them for hours. Falashi reaches Colonel Mazrui's vehicle with Ali still in his arms. Bilal sees his fallen friend and breaks down, overwhelmed by the loss. Captain Said and the remaining soldiers climb into the vehicle, and the convoy begins to pull away from the battlefield. Just then, the long-awaited F-16 aircraft arrives. Colonel Mazrui gives the order for the pilot to release every bomb they have. The sky erupts in fire as the bombs fall. The enemy realizes too late that there is no escape. Explosions tear across the battlefield in every direction. On the journey back, the mood inside the vehicle is heavy. No one speaks. The men are grieving. They carry guilt for not being able to save Ali, who fought beside them to the very end. Colonel Mazrui feels the weight of the loss deeply. He too shares the responsibility and the sorrow. When they arrive back at the base, the wounded are taken to the medical team for treatment. All remaining troops gather together, including their superior, Colonel Jamal al-Kathri. Ali's body is carefully removed from the vehicle. The soldiers stand in silence, honoring him as a brave warrior who gave everything in the line of duty. They bow their heads, united in respect. So the moral of the story is sometimes you can be so close to going home, so close to seeing the people you love again, yet life can still take someone away in one final moment, reminding us how fragile every goodbye and every promise really is.